Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin just confirmed the highest daily candle close in over a year as the US dollar index is dumping. But while this is happening, in the short term, Bitcoin is forming a new pattern that we need to pay attention to alongside Ethereum and Solana, which I'll talk about later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a quick update here on the weekly Bitcoin charts because, of course, right now the price of Bitcoin is still running into this important area of resistance, sitting in between around 36,000 to 38,000. And in fact, over the last 1 day or so, we did see another rejection from the top side of that area of resistance, once again at around 38k. So it's clear that 38k is the level to break, at least in the somewhat shorter term here. And if we do end up ultimately breaking out above 38k, whether that's really soon or after a pullback, either way, if we break out above 38k with confirmation, the next major resistance on the weekly time frame is sitting at around 42,000, and above that we have more resistance at around 48,000. But at least for now, obviously we are still battling the resistance in between 36 to 38k, and of course in terms of the larger trend at play on the weekly time frame, we are still clearly within a larger bullish trend despite what's happening on smaller timeframes. And now if you're taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, of course over the last 1 day we did actually see a fresh pump to the upside, creating the highest daily candle close in the price of Bitcoin that we've seen in well over a year. And of course this happened just after a major dump in the DXY, or the US dollar currency index. And so once again, as I explained in my last video on the channel showing this bullish signal, I said that this signal is basically stopping the price of Bitcoin and really the overall crypto market from pulling back a lot further. And so therefore, while the DXY is dumping like what it has been recently, I would not necessarily expect a massive pullback to continue a lot further. And obviously, once again, this resulted in a pump over the last 1 day or so after that massive dump in the DXY. And in case you're new to this channel, all you need to know is if the DXY or US dollar index is bearish, that is bullish for the price of Bitcoin most of the time, and vice versa. If the DXY is bullish, that is usually bearish for Bitcoin and crypto most of the time. But remember, this is zoomed out a little bit on the daily time frame, looking at these larger moves on the chart here. So obviously I'm not talking about the much smaller pullbacks, like for example what we saw over the last 1 week or so. That slight pullback is not really relevant when you're looking at a time frame zoomed out like this. And so once again, the reason for that massive pump over the last 1 day or so was mostly due to the DXY having a massive crash, which was a strong bullish signal. But we cannot forget about that bearish divergence on the daily Bitcoin chart, which is still there, because once again over the last 1 day we have just seen a new higher high in the price, but the daily Bitcoin RSI has just formed a new lower high. And so essentially all this latest pump has done for the bearish divergence is essentially extend the bearish divergence, making it a little bit bigger. And so essentially this is just making it take longer to eventually play out, but overall we're still seeing higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI, which means the bearish divergence is still there. And so once again, due to this bearish divergence, it's likely that this shorter term bullish trend on the daily time frame will potentially begin slowing down in the coming weeks, possibly over the next 1 month or so, meaning we have somewhat limited room to the upside in the price of Bitcoin, and it's more likely we could either see some more sideways consolidation, if not potentially a bit of a pullback in the coming weeks, if not over the next 1 month. Once again, this is not talking about the next few hours or the next couple of days. This is really talking about what we could expect over the next couple of weeks or over the next 1 month. But once again, if the DXY continues crashing as it has been recently, then that means we have also limited room to the downside. So we might not pull back very far if the DXY continues this price action. But either way, once again, the bearish divergence is telling us that in the coming weeks, we're due to slow down at the very least from this bullish trend. And if you're zooming into a smaller time frame, looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, of course, we're still in this ascending parallel channel. We have this lower line of support sitting at around 35.4k approximately, and we have this upper line of resistance sitting at around 38,000 approximately. And we also have this center line, which back here was acting as resistance, which is sitting at approximately 36.6k. And once again, right now, that is also acting as a bit of short-term support and resistance. And so basically, while the price of Bitcoin is in in this ascending parallel channel, forming higher lows and higher highs. Technically speaking, this is what a bullish trend is. We are clearly trending in the bullish direction. But if we begin seeing confirmed breaks back below some of these previous lows, then of course those would be the early signs of a possible trend reversal in terms of the short-term trend and momentum, which once again is different from the much larger trend here on the weekly time frame. And now taking another look at the short term, looking at the 6-hour Bitcoin chart. Of course, as I've said over the last couple of weeks or so, we do have a hidden bullish divergence, which has been playing out very well over the last 1 to 2 weeks. But just over the last 1 day, with that massive pump to the upside, forming a slightly higher high above this previous high in terms of the candle closes in the price action, this is now forming a new bearish divergence here in the short term on the 6-hour chart, because once again we have higher highs in the price, but the RSI has just formed a lower high. And so now that we have this bearish divergence on the 6-hour chart and a hidden bullish divergence, these are essentially cancelling each other out. And in fact, more often than not, regular divergences often are stronger than hidden divergences. And of course, we still have that bearish divergence on the daily time frame we cannot forget about. So overall, we are still slowing down from the bullish trend. We just have not confirmed a trend reversal, forming bearish price structure, like for example, confirming lower lows or lower highs. And so I would only begin to expect a bit more of a pullback or short-term bearish trend once we actually start breaking some of these lines of support or breaking into new lower lows. But even if we do break to the downside into new lower lows and begin flipping a little bit more bearish again in the short term, once again, I would not expect a massive pullback because the DXY is still looking very, very bearish. So I would only expect a much larger pullback in the price of Bitcoin if we see a bit more of a reversal in the DXY. And so overall, on the much larger timeframes, I'm still very much bullish, as I have been basically ever since the very beginning of this year. But on slightly smaller timeframes, I'm expecting a bit of a slowdown from the bullish trend, but we have not yet confirmed a bearish trend reversal. And now, just before getting into the Ethereum part of this video and the Solana part of this video, just quickly reminding you that right now the Bybit card is out. It is active, and you can actually earn up to 10% in cashback rewards just by using the card. So that's basically a 10% discount on anything that you're buying. And what's great is you can fund the Bybit card with crypto. So you can have stable coins or Bitcoin or Ethereum just sitting on your Bybit account, and basically the card can use that for transactions. And obviously with this being a MasterCard, you can use it basically all over the world, anywhere where MasterCard is accepted. And also with the Bybit card, you don't have to stake or lock up any money or crypto, unlike some other crypto cards out there, which is always a benefit as well. And once again, there are rewards points that you can get, so basically cash back just by spending your crypto with this card. And of course, there's no annual fees at all with this card. So personally, I've been using this card myself to spend crypto, especially while prices are higher, because essentially as the Bitcoin price goes up, things that I'm buying in terms of Bitcoin are getting cheaper and cheaper, which is always a plus. And so if you want to check this out for yourself, I'll make sure to leave a link to the Bybit card to this page right here in the description down below and in the pinned comment. In fact, it'll be the first link down below this video if you want to check it out. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the weekly time frame, and obviously the price of ETH is still running into this important area of resistance, which is basically sitting in between around $2,000 to $2,150 based on these two previous highs. And so 2,150 is the level to break on the weekly time frame for the price of ETH in order to set up a much higher price target above $4,000 for this giant ascending triangle pattern. But obviously, even if we do confirm a breakout above 2,150 to confirm that much higher price target, there will obviously be some levels of resistance along the way. So it's not like we're going to go straight from 2,150 to above 4,000 in one straight line. That will not happen. But either way, on the weekly time frame, we are technically forming a large bullish pattern. An ascending triangle pattern is known as a bullish pattern. And so especially while we're forming these higher lows on the weekly time frame, once again here on the much larger time frames, I'm still leaning bullish. But of course, in the short term, that could potentially tell a different story. For example, taking a look at the 1-day time frame, we can see a bit of a rejection from that area of resistance, which here on the 1-day chart is sitting in between around 2120 to 2150 based on this previous high. And we do have this area of support based on these previous highs, this previous area of resistance now acting as support in between around $2,000 to 2030. But if you're looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool on the daily time frame, from this swing low in October up to this swing high, we have the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement retracement level, which is acting as support at around 1970. But if we saw a confirmed break back below 1970, then in that case, the next Fibonacci level of support is sitting at around 1870 to 1880 approximately. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now, these are beginning to cool off a little bit more because, of course, a few days ago, nearly a week ago now, the RSI was in overbought territories, telling us we're due to see a bit of a cool off, a bit of a reset in the short term. And obviously, this has been playing out in the short term, helping to reset the RSI. And while this is happening, of course, the RSI is potentially forming a new lower low. So basically, the RSI is potentially beginning to reverse from this short-term bullish trend into a bit of a bearish trend, showing some weakness in this bullish trend in the price. And something similar can be said about the daily Ethereum MACD, which is basically slowing down in bullish momentum. It is not yet confirmed a bearish cross, but it is getting closer to that. And so like Bitcoin, once again, we have not actually confirmed a bearish trend reversal from bullish back to bearish, but we are basically slowing down in this bullish trend, at least in the short term. And now if you're zooming into the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart, we can see a hidden bullish divergence is technically still active as of recording this video, because at least for now, we have not yet invalidated the higher low structure in the price action and also the lower low structure here in the RSI. And so in order to actually invalidate the hidden bullish divergence on the 8-hour time frame, we need to see a confirmed break back below this low right here, which is sitting at around 1970 approximately, so right around this Fibonacci level of support. And so this is why I said earlier, once again, overall on the larger time frames, for example, I'm still leaning bullish when you're talking about over the next multiple months or over the next 1 to 2 years. I'm still very much bullish, but just in the shorter term, we are basically slowing down from this short-term bullish trend and getting close to potentially reversing into a bit of a short-term bearish trend or pullback, but that has not yet been confirmed. And now getting into the Solana part of this video, this is on the 3-day Solana to US dollar chart. And right now, obviously the price of Solana is continuing towards this technical price target that I mentioned a few days ago now on the channel, sitting at approximately $72. And obviously since my last Solana update video, the price has obviously moved further to the upside, closer towards that price target. So right now we are very, very close to the price target, almost completing this previous ascending triangle pattern. And so obviously if you entered anywhere near this breakout, you've essentially more than doubled your money without any leverage. So congrats to those of you who caught this breakout. If you were following me over on my Twitter, then obviously you would have caught this breakout. But we need to keep in mind that right now we have seen the price of Solana on the 3-day time frame basically form only green candles for over a month now. We have not seen a single red candle on the 3-day time frame in over a month, which basically means it's very likely that sometime soon we're going to have to see some red candles in the 3-day time frame sometime soon, because once again, it is not very often that we see this type of price action. And so just keep that in mind. Of course, we've already seen a lot of bullish price action and we're very close to a major technical price target. And on top of that, the RSI on the 3-day time frame is extremely overbought. And so even though we have not confirmed a bearish trend reversal as of right now, and of course we still have an active bullish price target, which is relatively close from where we are right now, even though that's the case, of course, we could soon be approaching some sort of pullback or a local top in this move. And something else to keep in mind is the fact that we've seen barely any pullbacks along the way means that a lot of this rally, especially in the later half of this rally, has been fueled strongly by FOMO. And of course, that is not necessarily a bearish thing. That can be a bullish thing in terms of the larger trend, because basically when there's a lot of FOMO buyers, especially buyers waiting on the sidelines for pullbacks, basically what that means is when we eventually see some sort of pullback, there will be a lot of buyers waiting to buy up that pullback, which means we could potentially continue on higher with this larger trend later on. It's just personally, I would not necessarily be going all in right after a massive pump like this, because once again, right now we are very overextended. We are very overbought, at least for now. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, technically speaking, we do currently have a small bearish divergence here on the 4-hour chart. We have confirmed higher highs in the price in the candle closes, while confirming lower highs in the 4-hour Solana RSI. And so once again, at the very least, this is telling us that we're due to see a bit of a pause from the bullish trend, at least in the short term, either in the form of a sideways consolidation or potentially a bit of a short-term pullback. And so overall, personally, how I would play this, once again, this is not financial advice, this is just personally how I would play this. First of all, let's just say if I missed this breakout opportunity and if I wanted to look for an entering into Solana right now, what I'll do right now is if I was having extreme FOMO, I would have very slight dollar cost averages just to slight the FOMO, but I would not be going heavy at all at these prices. And essentially, I'll just be looking for any sort of pullback to increase a dollar cost averaging position, to dollar cost average into Solana. And the reason why I would go a dollar cost averaging strategy rather than specifically waiting for a specific price and going all in at that price is simply because if you're waiting for a specific price to go all in, it's very likely that strategy will not work. Either we will not reach that price and you'll miss the entry, or we'll reach the price, you'll go all in, and the price will continue dumping and you're unavailable to take advantage of those lower prices. And so essentially going in heavy right now, buying heavy right now after a huge move to the upside is basically equivalent to panic selling after a huge crash in the price. Basically, if you sold at a panic, basically all the way down here at these lows, of course, there is that possibility it could go a little bit lower and you made a good sell, but we need to remember the whole idea of this is to buy low and sell high, not the other way around. And obviously right now, relatively speaking, we are pretty high compared to where we were a few weeks ago, for example. And so that's just my thoughts on Solana right now. Of course, it is a decent project, especially for the longer term. It could perform quite well in the coming bull market. I just wouldn't necessarily go in very heavy right now after this huge move to the upside. But either way, whether you think the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply going to chop around sideways, you can make money in crypto in either of those scenarios by watching these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish using AI, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.